everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Opportunities Connected. We're excited to talk to you about something really awesome and really important to both of us. And I am Yemi Griot.
And I'm Justin Latson.
Welcome to Opportunities Connected. Justin, very good to see you, sir. How are you?
It's always a pleasure seeing you. I'm doing extremely well today. How about yourself?
I'm grateful, man. I'm here, heart beating, breathing in some fresh air. I'll take it. It's always a good day when I'm up and walking around, moving around, and getting to have an opportunity to connect with you. So I'm excited about
100%.
Yes. And so one of the things we wanted to do, and thanks for joining us, please make sure you share, subscribe, hit that share button. We'd love to make sure we're sharing this opportunity to build with everyone else out there. And be sure to comment. We want to build with you. We want to build off of your comments. But one of the things we wanted to talk about, because we are a program that's specific to lifting each other up and specific to building a positive environment around ourselves and around our community, we didn't want to negate the fact that there are going to be moments where you're not feeling that great. So today's episode is about navigating the lows and strategies for coping and finding your joy. So it's basically talking about those moments when we're feeling down, talking about those moments where, the wind's been taken out of ourselves, and not to pretend like we're invincible all the time. Of course, while I want to always walk in and live in a positive light, there are going to be days where things are coming from every angle and it's like really frustrating and it kind of gets you down. And so we wanted to talk about that as a reality and some of the things that we can do to help move ourselves through it.
Yes, 100%. So as we all know, when we get upset, we don't want to have to apologize for our behavior, but instead let's take a proactive approach and to be able to identify what are some things we do to cope when we're upset. Because a lot of people, they just move day by day. They have no game plan except for at work or things that is not truly important to themselves.
That's right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when you're upset, let's have a game plan because we're human beings.
That's it.
To say you're never going to get upset is to say I'm never going to need to take a breath. It's going to happen. We need oxygen. We have feelings. We have emotions. We are human. So right. I'm not going to sit here and say you should never be upset, but let's not take our anger out on people, individuals, our kids, our spouse, our dog, our fish, none of that.
None of it. Yeah. And one of the things, part of being human is also making mistakes and acknowledging those mistakes and also having to accept others and then making mistakes as well. And one of the things I try to do, not just through demonstrating by example, is also explaining to, my son as he's getting older, is that it's okay to be upset. It's okay to have these emotions that pour out. We don't want to deny ourselves these feelings, but it is not okay to be disrespectful. It's not okay to be mean to others and to have that lash out on others. So one of the things that we do, so I wanted to talk about some of the experiences of feeling down and exploring the significance of acknowledging and accepting these emotions. So I know that there are going to be mornings where I wake up and I'm just beat. I'm just tired because maybe, yesterday was the day I set up decorations for Halloween and I went too late at night making sure the lights work and not realizing the impact that would have on my rest and waking up the next morning kind of out of it. And then things are happening. Maybe the toaster burnt the toast, or maybe I spilled coffee all over my suit and I got to change, or I'm late for the train, or there's delays or traffic. And how do I, work through those emotions so that I'm not taking it out on my family, taking it out on my little chihuahua, or taking it out on my teammates at work. And I think, like you just said, Justin, we benefit from the fact that at work, there are already kind of some rules in place that you go in kind of knowing there's certain guidelines. Not that everyone always follows them, but there's guidelines. But having some guidelines that you have outside of that, so that you have a game plan. What are the things that you want to begin to practice and know about yourself, accepting yourself, knowing what ticks you off, what, like having that game plan already ready, so that when you get to that space, how do I find my peace? What are the things that I'm going to do to ensure I'm not in a place where I'm like I'm at the tipping point?
Exactly. So when you are there, let's throw you out there. What are some things that calms you down? What's some outlets for you
Yeah.
whenever you feel that anger or stress coming up?
So like immediate, like, so if I'm getting close to that moment, I can recognize the moment. Not every moment is like, you can, there are some moments that are just really abrupt. But like if there's a moment where it's kind of easing in that direction, sometimes I take a moment, I step back, I take some deep breaths, I find a moment to find some quiet, some peace. But that isn't always available. But music is one of the things that help to calm me down. I'll find a playlist that I've already prepared. Maybe that isn't available. I'll find a song, or I just go into a space where, hey, I need a moment. I even let the folks around me know, hey, I just need a second. I just need a moment. I'll go outside. I'll go to the restroom. I'll go to the hallway. I'll take a second to just kind of walk it off, so that I'm giving myself a chance to kind of calm down. Now, preventative steps that I take is looking at ways that I can exert that energy that builds up throughout the week, or exert that energy that builds up throughout the day. One of the things I've had the great pleasure of doing is introducing martial arts into my life back in the fall, and that has been one of the great outlets for me. Before I found martial arts, of course, I'm a creative type. I love to do music production. I love to create content here. These are the things that help me find peace. Working in the yard, or even spending time with my son. Some of these things, or with my family, just going out, enjoying the outdoors, even if we can't enjoy the outdoors, just spending time with them helps me to find my zen. How about you, Justin?
Yeah. And before we jump into me, one golden nugget that you said that I share is, when I do feel myself in that space, that negative space, I communicate that with the people I'm around. A lot of us, we stay silent. We think if we hold it in, we feel like we're doing the right things, when really we're like knocking things over. In our head, it was an accident to somebody else. Yo, is that person okay?
Yeah.
But communicating, hey, look, I'm not in the right headspace right now. If you do need something, I'm gonna do my best, but please be a little patient with me. They are going to come from a position where they kind of understand you. They're giving you a little bit more patience.
Yeah.
In other words,
because they recognize that and we've shared this before in the past, you got to self-advocate. And a part of self-advocating, a part of communicating, is saying those things. It's helping to manage expectations. Hey, I need a moment just for a second. Even if it's with the person you might be frustrated in a disagreement that you might be having and with someone, and they're looking for an answer, and they might have already passed that threshold of patience, and they might be trying to pull some information out of you, and you might not even have that information at the moment because you're seeing just red. And I often just say, please give me a moment.
Correct. Yes. And what you don't realize is, when you ask ahead of time, hey, look, I'm not in the right headspace for that moment, when they agree with you, when they understand, take all the time you need, that kind of starts the solution aspect, where you're slowly coming back. Because you realize, like, people around you are not against you, especially when you're on the same team. They realize, and you realize, you know what? They're giving me the time I need. I do appreciate that. And gratitude starts to immerse. Like, you start to realize, you know what? The people around me are great because I get to take the time I need. So when I'm going through a stressful time, or a hardship, anger, whatever you want to call it, give it any title you like. Okay. I, number one, like, I just say I'm built different, right? Situation, and I'm quickly reminded of what it took me to get there, and the hardship I had, and the struggles I had. And I compare my challenges now with my challenges back then. and I ask myself, is this really worth being upset over? And
Right.
my current situation is harder than my past situations, then I do compare it to other people that may have it more difficult than myself.
Right.
That's not to say I'm not granted the opportunity to be upset,
Right.
but that's to say I can get through this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not saying someone else has it worse than me. Why am I upset? That's
Yeah.
wrong mindset. It's look at so and so who's going through that, and they are making it work. They are doing it.
Yeah.
I
Allow it to be
want
inspiration. Yeah.
to find that solution.
Yeah, like and to that point, it's recognizing what the triggers are, recognizing some of the things that help. I mean that put you in that place,
Yeah,
and once you start to own those things, you can start to see those things before they occur, so that you can proactively address it before it gets to that place. And another thing that you said that I loved is like being able to put yourself in a position where you are demonstrating with the others around you, like, okay, um, um, it's clear we're a team. It's clear we want to work towards a solution, but
correct.
I need a moment to kind of breathe. I need a moment to think. And to that, a part of that is building that support system. You don't want to continue to have someone who is a negative trigger all the time. Now there are moments where people get into disagreements, and sure, people are going to say things that they don't necessarily mean, and folks have transgressions they want to
Correct. Yes.
deal with, um, and you understand that that's a part of accepting it. But if there's a person who it's at a place where the antagonizing you becomes their daily habit.
Correct. Just how success has clues,
Yeah.
anger has clues. Like, who are the people or what are the habits? What are the situations that is leading you up to that challenge?
That's right.
Well, a lot of people, when they get upset, it's because of the same exact thing that happened last week. Or when you're arguing with somebody, it's the same argument that you had last week. You have to be able to identify those triggers that get you there. And then don't just try to solve the argument face on, try to solve the challenges that led up to it.
Exactly.
And if there's a problem with someone at work or wherever, there's that one individual that's just triggering everything.
Oh man.
Don't wait until the triggers already happen. Figure out what's going on with them
Yeah.
that deals with you. So,
Yeah.
what is the common thread of why they're antagonizing you? If they're just a horrible person, you got to cut them out.
That's it.
Talking to a supervisor, whether it's switching locations, switching jobs. I know when I say switching jobs, that sounds like, whoa, I've been here for 20 years. But do we live to work?
Right.
Or do we work to enjoy our lives?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. We aren't defined by the positions we have. We want
yes.
to define ourselves by the life we want to live. And I love that you talked about that, because we do have an episode, and if you haven't had an opportunity to watch it, definitely watch it. Who are your top five? It's about building that support system. One of the things that we often do, or at least I'd like to do, is turn to those in my support system to help me look at ways I can calm down, or look at ways I can get to a resolution. And sometimes a part of building that support system is working with the person you might be frustrated with in that moment. If there's someone who's looking towards a resolution, like Master Justin said, like looking at what is causing that issue, so that you get to a place where you both are looking at the solution together, and bringing yourselves to a place where, hey, we realized we had this transgression. We realized that there was this solution for it. Now we're in a place where we are both working towards a common goal. And you wouldn't believe there's some folks in my life that I'm really good friends with that it didn't start that way. It started at a place where we were butting heads, and I'm like, what is up with this person? Like, but now, and it's nice also in some of your relationships, even with your significant other, your better half, so to say, when you've gotten past that breaking ice place of having a moment where things aren't always there, but you've come through it, it gives you both the faith and the understanding of getting through it again. Should something come, you're no longer worried about that.
Exactly. And when you go to your top five, it's very, very important. You don't just show up. this challenge happened again and I'm
Right.
frustrated, because then
Right.
you become the person that's the negative person in their
That's
life. All you come up to them for is to talk about your challenges, your problems. So to prevent you from becoming that negative person in their life, it's very important to ask them ahead of time, hey, is there a time where we can chat about this
yeah,
challenge that I have? I would love to get your input. So
yeah,
now, instead of become the person that talks about their problems all day long, you just invited your friend to invest, and you made them feel important because you want their mind, their solution on whatever you're going through.
that's
So
right.
now when someone comes to me and say, hey, I have this challenge, do you mind giving me your thoughts? I no longer feel like I have to sit and listen to their problems. I feel like, yes, what can I solve? Like, how can I help?
You're right.
So you get your top five more invested on your challenges in a more positive way by making sure they are in the right headspace to listen to you, to chat with you. And
Right.
if they're not in that right mind space right now, you better be okay for them to say, hey, can we schedule it like next week or another time? Because right now it's just not a good time.
Yeah.
That's why it's not top one, it's top five, because if that
That's
person's not available, respect them for that.
yeah.
Don't like belittle them because they don't have the time to listen to your challenges.
Right. Because it's about not just relying, but nurturing that supportive relationship,
Yes.
and having to go to individuals within your low moments. You want to nurture it. And we do even talk about that in a episode we did before about the power of kindness and
Kindness.
how
Yeah.
kindness can disable those. So for and what I mean by that is, say if you're in a moment where somebody just kind of abruptly, you were at 100% positivity, and then you run into that one person who spent an entire week under the cloud, and they've run into you, and you're the first person they want to take out every single thing on.
You're running.
Not allowing yourself to mirror what they're sending your way, taking a step back, understanding, okay, look at, okay, what this the situation is, breathe while it's happening, and then your counter is some of the things we shared in the power of kindness. How do you and Justin, I loved some of the examples you shared. How do you confront someone who's coming in, boom, right, with the, and I told you, and you said, and blah blah blah, and man, and you know what, Justin, and I'm just gonna.
Yeah, so I love that. So first and foremost, you need to identify the type of person they are, because people are not going to change who they are,
Right.
right? So if that is that one friend that is just always negative, you asking them to be more positive makes you the number one enemy in their life, right? So now, yo, so and so is trying to judge my character, call me the negative person. Now you become the angry one in their life. But if you are recognizing that this is something new to them, like, hey, this is out of their character. I don't know what they're going through. You can now approach them like, hey, I noticed you've been a little different. Would you love for me to listen to what's going on?
Yeah.
So don't assume how they feel. Don't label how they feel. Don't say, yo, you've been angry lately. Don't do that. Just, hey, I noticed things been a little different. Is everything okay? I'm a great friend. I want to be here for you.
Right.
So coming at it that way, they the ball's in their hands whether they want to make that change.
Yeah.
They say no, I'm good, and then you notice the things just keep happening over and over. It's time for you to reassess the people you're surrounding yourself by. Because a quote we all know is, I know who you are by who you hang around. It's so true. The chemicals in our head, if you're around someone who's negative, you will be negative
Yeah.
soon.
You
It
don't even
will start off as, oh, I hate cheese.
realize.
Oh, I don't want queso in my burger. And then all of a sudden, that little thing is, man, that person, what does he not want now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Rubs off. Misery loves company. And
Yeah.
this is because of the chemicals in our head. So if you're around positive people, I'm telling you, it's going to rub
Yeah.
off on you.
It really will. It really will. I mean, and the same thing pertains to your relationships at work, as your relationships in your household, or even just outside in your community. You can kind of feel the energy of folks before they get up to you,
Mhm.
whether or not you are in the front facing customer service environment at your job, or even if your client are your peers or your coworkers at work, and you can see. I mean, like Justin said, a lot of folks aren't going to change who they are. You kind of know some of those coworkers who are kind of always going to be in that place, and you'll take some of the necessary steps that you can take to ensure you're not mirroring that
Yeah.
behavior.
And
But
if you're that coworker and you are recognizing you're that coworker that's negative, it's not too late for you.
that's
What
right.
I want you to do, I'm gonna give you guys homework. If you feel like you're that coworker or someone's identified you as that coworker, I want you to make a list, and it's going to take an investment on your part. But you know what? We're going for that
That's it.
right now. Okay.
Home run. Let's go for it.
What can you do to brighten up the office? You can bring donuts.
That's it.
Don't tell them, hey guys, I'm gonna buy donuts. What type of donuts do you guys like? Because if you forget to bring the donuts, you're worse than you were.
That's it. That's it. That's it. You
Surprise
come
the
back.
office with donuts. Surprise the office with coffee. Ask people how are they doing, and do not put your 2 cents on how they can be better or what they did wrong.
Exactly. That's not your job. In fact, I've learned, as a manager and as a teammate, that it's not about trying to encourage others to be a certain way, but to create an environment where they can thrive. And so, like to your point where misery loves company, and you'll see this in a lot of workspaces. How do we change the work culture? How do we change the work environment so it's more positive and stuff? And you create that environment where they can thrive and stuff,
Correct.
and able to put resources that they need in that environment. It helps, and that doesn't just apply at work. You can do it as a great teammate at home with those. You can do it as a great teammate to your friends. How can I make myself more available? What are the things that I can do with my friends that are different from, going and slushing back some drinks? Let's do something that is more about spending actual time together, whether or not it's playing pool together, or doing a board game, or seeing a movie, or going out, or meeting at a place to eat.
Yes, yes.
And
So
just,
when you're upset, my friends, list out the things you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Don't deny the fact that you're upset. A lot of people do that, and then it gets worse. Okay. So acknowledge to yourself. You don't have to acknowledge to the world, I'm upset.
Yeah.
Acknowledge to yourself that you're upset. Find the things that you can do to get out of that mood. Surround yourself by positive people. A golden phrase that you can say if you don't know what to say to brighten up the room is, hey, great job. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
That's it. You can say that to anything.
Yeah.
Someone just closed a sale next to you. Someone just finished wrapping up a recording session. Whatever it is, hey, that was really good. I'm proud of you. You should be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
You don't know anything else to say. And then the feeling you get from making someone else happy will feed back to you. So it's going to easily help you get out of that angry state, the state of anger.
Those are the things that help all of us, not just yourself, to embrace vulnerability and embrace self-care and understanding, that it's encouraging listening. It's encouraging embracing, like recognizing it's okay to be down, but also helping those around you to feel that way around you, that you're in a safe space when they're with you. And so that way you understand the importance of self-care as it relates to the value it has in your life. It's not just important for you to take care of your physical health, but your mental health plays a huge role in that as well. In fact, I think that they're tied all together. And, I try to ensure that I'm doing the things that I need to do to stay physically healthy so that I can remain also mentally and emotionally healthy as well.
Yes, I say this all the time. Once you're in one aspect of your life, you are in all aspects of your life. Okay? Eat healthy, work out, help your mindset. You will succeed in work and life. When you succeed, I want you to succeed in all areas, not just one area.
Not just one area. It's all one flow. And we want to hear from you. definitely, you see the email going across the screen there, info@talkconnected.com. Please send in your emails. We want to respond and react and share our thoughts and have you share your thoughts with us. Please also go there in the comments and share some of the things, some of the tools that you use to find peace, to find Zen. We'd love to talk to you about how we can work towards building a more positive community. And
Yes.
thanks for tuning in with us today. Make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And Justin, as always, thank you, sir. It's always a pleasure to connect.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yes, man. And thank you all for joining us here on Opportunities Connected.